Alan Watts once posed a thought-provoking question. What would you do if money was no object? In a lecture that sparked contemplation, Alan Watts, a British philosopher known for popularizing Eastern philosophy in the West, posed this brilliant question. This sharp and hyperbolic question encourages us to delve into the deeper truth about what we truly desire and crave in life. It also forces us to reevaluate the symbolic importance we attach to the omnipotent abstraction of the dollar. Watts implored his listeners to detach themselves from the idea of chasing money to satisfy our desires. Easier said than done, of course, but in a typical Zen koan style, Watts manages to show us that when we instead seek something less material and more spiritually fulfilling, the money part eventually ceases to be an issue. So Watts would always pose the question, what would you love to do if money was no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? It's rather incredible that as a result of our educational system, a lot of students say, well, we'd like to be painters, we'd like to be poets, we'd love to be writers, but as everyone knows, you can't earn any money that way. Let's go with that. What do you want to do? When we finally get to something that the individual says they really want to do, Watts would tell them, do that and forget the money, because if you say that getting the money is the most important, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. Structuring your existence around monetary gain means spending your entire life chasing an abstraction. And at the end of the day, if you really like what you're doing, it doesn't matter what it is, eventually you can turn it around. You might end up being a master at it. That's the only way to become a master of something, to really be with it. And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. So don't worry too much. Money, a universal symbol of exchange, heavily influences our desires and life choices. It is a powerful concept, an abstract creation that has come to dictate our ambitions, our pursuits, and even our self-worth. It's as if we've given money a life of its own, a force that propels us, scares us, and sometimes even controls us. But let's delve deeper into this symbol, this tool that has such a profound impact on our lives. Money, in its simplest form, is a means of exchange, a way to quantify value. But its symbolic importance extends far beyond that. It represents security, power, freedom, and often success. It's no wonder that the pursuit of money can consume us, overshadowing our true passions and desires. This is not to demonize money, but rather to understand its symbolic power. Money can enable us to pursue our dreams, to provide for our loved ones, and to make a difference in the world. But when we start to equate our worth with our wealth, when we let money define our goals and our sense of success, we risk losing sight of what truly matters. We must remember money is not the end, but a means to an end. It's a tool that can help us achieve our goals, not a goal in itself. When we start chasing money for its own sake, we risk becoming trapped in a never-ending cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. We risk sacrificing our passions, our happiness, and our true desires on the altar of financial gain. This is the paradox of money. It can enable us, but it can also confine us. It can empower us, but it can also limit us. It can open doors, but it can also close them. It can bring happiness, but it can also breed discontent. Money in its essence is simply a symbol, a tool, yet its influence is undeniable. It shapes our society, our relationships, and our very identities. But perhaps by understanding its symbolic importance, we can learn to use it wisely, to serve our true desires and ambitions, rather than letting it use us. Living a life focused solely on the pursuit of money can often lead to dissatisfaction and unfulfillment. This sentiment, echoed by many philosophers and thinkers throughout history, might strike a chord with those of us who feel trapped in a cycle of chasing after financial gain. Imagine a life where every decision, every path taken, is dictated not by what brings joy or personal fulfillment, but by what brings in the most money. The job you choose, the city you live in, even the people you surround yourself with, all reduced to mere numbers in a bank account. This is the reality for many who live in our money-driven society. While money is undoubtedly a necessity, it becomes a problem when it is the sole motivator in our lives. When we base our life choices purely on financial gain, we risk ignoring our passions, our dreams, and our potential for true happiness. We become like hamsters in a wheel, endlessly running but never truly getting anywhere. In a society that equates success with wealth, it can be easy to fall into the trap of believing that money equals happiness. But what happens when we reach that financial goal we've been striving for? Often we are left feeling empty and unfulfilled, realizing that money can't buy the things that truly matter: love, joy, fulfillment, and contentment. Moreover, the relentless pursuit of money can lead to a life of stress and anxiety. The pressure to earn more, to keep up with the Joneses, can take a toll on our mental and physical health. We may find ourselves sacrificing precious time with loved ones or foregoing hobbies and interests, all in the name of earning more money. The philosopher Alan Watts once said, "Money is a way of measuring wealth, but is not wealth in itself." In other words, money is merely an abstraction, a symbol of wealth, not the real thing. When we chase after money, we are not chasing after real wealth or happiness, but an illusion. Living for money can lead to a life spent chasing an abstraction. Instead, let us strive to make choices based on what truly fulfills us, what brings us joy and happiness. Let us chase after real wealth, the wealth of experiences, relationships, and personal growth. On the other hand, pursuing your passions can lead to a life of fulfillment and, surprisingly, financial stability. You see, when we choose to follow our heart's true desires, we embark on a journey of self-discovery, growth, and ultimately, mastery. The journey may not always be smooth sailing, but the destination is often worth the voyage. Consider the story of J.K. Rowling, a single mother on welfare who followed her passion for storytelling and ended up creating one of the most successful book series in history, Harry Potter. Or take the case of Steve Jobs, who was passionate about revolutionizing technology and ended up co-founding Apple, one of the most successful tech companies in the world. These individuals chose to follow their passions, not because they were guaranteed financial success, but because they felt a deep, intrinsic motivation to do so. They found joy and satisfaction in their work, which fueled their dedication and perseverance. And as they honed their skills and deepened their expertise, they eventually became masters in their fields. This is not to say that pursuing your passion will always lead to financial success. Some passions may not have a clear financial payoff, but they can still lead to a rich and fulfilling life. The key is to find something you genuinely enjoy and are willing to dedicate time and effort to. The passion you have for your work will shine through and people will take notice. The philosopher Confucius once said, "Choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life." This timeless wisdom holds true today. When you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. It becomes a source of joy, a way of expressing your unique talents and abilities, and a means of contributing to the world in a meaningful way. So let's heed the words of Alan Watts, who urged us to do what we love and forget about the money. To master something, you need to be truly with it, and then you can get a good fee for whatever it is. While money is a fact of our constructed reality, it should not be the driving force of our lives. We live in a world where money dictates many aspects of our existence. It's a means for survival, a tool for trade, a measure of success, and in many ways, a symbol of freedom. But let's not forget, it's also a human invention, a concept, a symbol that we have collectively agreed upon. Money in its essence is not wealth, but a measure of it. It's like a ruler that we use to measure the distance, but the ruler itself is not the distance. It's an abstraction that we often mistake for the real thing. This is not to downplay the importance of money. It's a necessity in our current societal structure, but we must not let it overshadow our true passions and desires. The cost of living a life solely driven by the pursuit of money can be steep. It can lead to a life unfulfilled, a life where our true passions and talents are left unexplored. This is the reality that many of us grapple with. We often find ourselves stuck in jobs we don't love, living lives we didn't choose, all in the name of money. But what if we shifted our focus from money to passion? What if we pursued what we truly loved without the fear of financial insecurity? Would we not then lead a richer life? A life of fulfillment and happiness? Imagine a world where people are driven by their passions, where money is a byproduct of doing what they love. Alan Watts once said, "The only way to become a master at something is to be really with it. If we follow our passions, we can become masters at what we do, and money will follow." So, what would you do if money was no object? This question is not meant to dismiss the importance of money, but rather to challenge us to think about what truly matters in life. It's a call to dig deeper, to discover our true passions and to live a life that is truly our own.